How can I simplify a fraction? Let's find out. Before we start, I just want to say that you need to have two skills before you can master this video. The first skill is you need to be able to find the greatest common factor, the GCF, of two numbers. The second skill is you need to be able to divide whole numbers. So find the GCF of two numbers and divide whole numbers. Let's get started. I have a fraction here, 6 over 36. I want to find its simplified form. I want to simplify this fraction. I have to follow two steps. First, I have to find the GCF. When I say that, I mean I have to find the greatest common factor of 6 and 36. Well, the greatest common factor of 6 and 36 is 6. That's because 6 is a factor of 6. It's the biggest factor of 6. 6 times 1 is 6. You're not going to get any bigger than 6. And 6 is a factor of 36 because 6 times 6 is 36. It also happens to be the greatest common factor. The greatest common factor. So our greatest common factor is 6 over 36. The next thing we have to do is we have to divide by the GCF. We have to divide by the GCF. Well, what's that going to mean? Well, we have 6 over 36. I have to divide both the top of the fraction and the bottom of the fraction by the GCF, which is 6. So I say, hey, I'm going to divide you by 6. Hey, I'm going to divide you by 6. So I'm dividing the top by 6, and I'm dividing the bottom by 6. We know we're going to get a fraction, so let's just write that equal sign, and let's write that fraction line. 6 divided by 6, well, that's 1. And 36 divided by 6, 6. So we found that the simplified form of 6 over 36 is actually 1/6. I'm going to write it again up here. Now, what does this mean? Well, think about if I were to say, I just got a new cell phone. Or if I were to say, I just got a new mobile phone. Those two things that I said mean the same thing. They're talking about exactly the same thing. And when we write this equal sign, that's what we as mathematicians mean. We mean that 6 over 36 really is the same amount. It's talking about the same amount as 1 over 6. The only difference is 1 over 6 is a lot easier, a lot simpler to understand. You kind of can figure out, like if you were drinking a water bottle, like, okay, well I can divide my water bottle up into 6 pieces and see, well, I think I've got about 1/6 of my water bottle left. It's a lot harder to divide your water bottle up into 36 pieces and try to figure out, well, what 6 of them would look like. So that's why we call it a simplified fraction.